Okay, welcome to the podcast, guys. This is our episode 5, and today we're talking about the Palmyra Wolves and the Dogman mystery. And today we have we have two new guests and two of our official co-hosts. Today we have Dylan Jenkins. Please introduce yourself.
Dylan. Uh, yeah.
Okay, and then our other new guest is Colin.
Hi,
Would
I
you
wish
like
I
to
was
introduce
asleep,
yourself?
kinda. I'm Colin.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Okay. And then we have our official other two co-hosts that are going to be in all of our podcasts probably are Aiden and Demetrio.
Hello.
Hello.
All right.
Yes. Okay. So finally been here. It's been a couple weeks in the making, and let's get started. So me and Demetrio have been doing lots of research. I don't know how much Aiden is in our guest.
I've done a decent amount.
Okay. So how about we have Demetrio start with his history lesson of Dogman werewolf phenomenon, since that's what he
Uh,
researched.
yeah, yeah. So I was mainly focusing on more like the werewolf phenomenon in my research,
Yeah,
and
Dogman.
the earliest text of it, the earliest known sighting of it, I guess you could say, was from a book called the Epic of Gilgamesh, and that was the very first official text in I think history. I'm pretty sure that even like the name werewolf or the appearance of it was ever known. It was around 2100 BC when Gilgamesh came out, and this all originated in Rome and Greece. That was the very first text that was ever documented this werewolf that I could find. And from this, it's pretty apparent this thing is pretty fucking old, to be honest. This is a very old creature that even the ancient Romans knew about. And from there, I was kind of looking into it, and the entire idea of a werewolf is that it is a creature that transforms from human to wolf, and from there is under a curse that under midnight, under a full moon, it will turn into a werewolf. And that's basically what I could ascertain as the very first sighting that I could try and find.
Very
And
informative.
also, yeah,
I had no idea when as far back as 2100 BC, but
yeah, no, it's interesting.
yeah, a Roman name that they actually went by, or the Latin name that werewolves and such creatures are go by, or lycan, or which means dogman or dog human or something.
Hmm.
And yeah, so that is very good information. Thank you, Jimmy. So now you know the history, yes. So any more little history lessons you want to give, or
No, just kind of a, not really, because
okay,
I kind of looked into other things. Just what I was able to find is a bunch of people just like kind of worship wolves in different areas. You know, like in Japan, they would worship a wolf in case fire or disease came, and they would like worship it so it doesn't come. That's all I was really able to find.
okay.
But yeah, no, werewolves, cool.
So that is our history bit of it. Okay, so I want to hear everybody else's opinion on it before I give my opinion. Aiden, let's start with you. What is your opinion on what
Well,
a dogman or werewolf is?
just like you said, wasn't I didn't expect it to go, that far back in time, but I mean, I think it's, I don't know, like, what I kind of want to know is what their main behavior was. Like, was it like different for each person, for each werewolf, or was like all of them like aggressive, or yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
Dylan, your thoughts and ideas on what dogman or
I
werewolf
don't
are.
really have much to say about it because I just don't. I haven't
Okay,
researched like basically anything about this, so I'm
that's okay.
just here to learn.
That's fair reason. Uh, Demetrio, your ideas and thoughts on what they are.
Oh. I don't really know because there's so much. Because it could either be a curse, and there's so many variants of it. There's like the chupacabra, a werewolf itself, and there's so many different forms. It's
Mm,
so interesting.
Wait, a
Oh wait, what?
chupacabra is a werewolf?
Oh no, sorry. My
Nope,
bad, my
nope,
bad, my
nope,
bad.
nope, 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 nope,
Oh, really? It's not? Dude, I
nope,
thought it was a werewolf or
nope,
No,
a
that's like a
dogman.
whole different thing.
Oh
nope.
really? Oh shit, I'm so stupid.
My cousin knows a
Demetrio,
lot about that.
Demetrio, how did you mess this up?
He's like 8 or something.
You're the
Chupacabra.
Demetrio, you're
Yes,
Mexican, and that's
I
the
know,
Mexican
I
folklore
know.
thing. Okay,
I
okay,
That's my bad. That's
okay,
my bad.
okay.
So here, explain to me. So here,
Colin,
quickly explain to me.
Colin, your thoughts and ideas and what they are.
I didn't know like the legend or whatever of them was that back that far. I did not expect that.
The more you know. Okay. My personal ideas is I don't think the idea of man transforming into wolf is very realistic. Like Bones can't do that. And so I like to think of these things more scientifically, so I have a more scientific standpoint on these. And that's how I'm gonna go about this. I'm gonna be looking at that. So my basic idea is that I'm gonna go through this in a scientific standpoint. What these creatures are is some kind of crazy mutation, a mutant creature, or some evolutionary creature that we have yet to discover any of its relatives yet, and any evidence of it exists, other than people saying that it does.
So basically, like what you're saying instead of them like only turning into a werewolf like on a full moon, they just stay werewolf constantly. Is that
Yeah,
kind of what you're saying?
I'm not even saying a werewolf, like just a bipedal wolf creature
All right.
or with Dogman, so like, a creature that's like a wolf but bipedal, larger, more humanoid, but
Like some like
wolfish.
wacky mutation.
Yeah, so Dogman. Uh, actually, oh, your thoughts, Colin?
Saying something like something from Chernobyl or something. It's like
Yeah.
what a radioactive or
Maybe,
some crap.
or a caveman decided to get freaky with a wolf.
Yeah, some crossbreeding going on, cross
Yeah.
species stuff.
Oh.
Crusty coochie.
Okay.
Okay.
That weren't supposed to talk about red
I
rockets. I don't know. What...
I can cut that out, guys. I can
okay.
cut that out. I can cut that out.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
bad,
yeah.
my
No,
bad.
that's good. It's good.
Sorry
It's
about
good.
that.
Okay. I actually have a story that I want to share. If I can. Oh man, did I close the tab? I'm gonna be so mad if I closed it. No, I didn't.
Control
Okay.
Shift T. You can reopen
So
tabs.
I have the story of the so the story that got my attention about this subject. Man, like I've heard a couple stories. I'm like, man, that's just kind of silly. Like you don't like think about it scientifically. A man wolf creature doesn't make sense. There's been no evidence suggesting that dogs ever went by humans. So the story that caught my attention was an account that not one person had, not two people had, not three, but four or five. No, five people had. Oh, look at it. It's gonna be a longer story, so please hang on while I read it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna read every detail or so the family, uh, Shelly Martin and Eric Martin, were this couple back in 2005, and they moved into a new home in Palmyra, Maine. And so this is where the Palmyra Wolves. This is the Palmyra Wolves story. And so this couple, Eric Martin and Shelly Martin, moved into a home near Maine, outside town, just in like a little countryside home. And they were living there with their son and daughter, and the son's girlfriend also lived with them. I'm pretty sure. So Eric hurt damaged his back, so he couldn't live with or he couldn't do his previous job. Hence why they had to move, because they had to move to a new place that was cheaper and they could get different jobs. So it was a farmhouse surrounded by dense woodland, and they had a shed and a pond. And they were a family of hunters. And uh, so they had a young daughter and an older son. And Shelly, the wife, didn't want them to have guns in the house, so they had guns in the shed. So Eric didn't like this, but safety reasons for the young daughter. Oh, okay. Multiple occasions, Eric had felt a presence in the house. He reported seeing the image of a small. Okay, that's weird. I haven't heard this part. I'm reading the story. Eric says that he thought there was a ghost in the house. That's strange. I'm gonna skip that part. I'm gonna skip that part. Okay. Okay, so the daughter and her boyfriend came over to visit the house, and they went for a walk in the woods with the dog. And this was in winter, and so they're going. So that when they let the dogs off the leash, the animals were instantly drawn to a strange hole. They kept the dogs away to stop them from falling in. Nathan felt that it was odd. So Nathan's the boyfriend of the daughter. Nathan felt that it was odd how round the hole was, as if it had been dug by care. And that's a quote by him, it's dug by care. Then 3 weeks before Memorial Day week in 2007, things got impossibly weirder. Directly quoting the source, if you want the source, it's blogging from yokaiworld.tumblr.com. So that's the source. So one night, the couple drank the evening, so Eric and Shelly drinking coffee on the porch, and they noticed a strange pulsing light along the tree line. And so they're just like assuming that it's hunters looking for places to sell trap hams or something. So that, or they thought it was a prank. So they're like, okay. They did feel that something was odd. So according to Shelley, the lights would get really strong and fade out, so then come back on again in a repeating pattern. She felt it was unnatural and unexplainable, but Eric was more, it's just probably people. So, oh no, never mind. The more the lights were absorbed, the more they seemed to change and move around. Having seen nothing like it, Eric called his son, Sean, and they went out to investigate, heading to the woods. As they approached the lights, they promptly went out. Not sure that the lights belonged to poachers. He sent Sean to circle around without his flashlight to catch them unaware. The two felt tenser than they ever did hunting, with the woods being eerily silent and still, and the loud echoes of branches under their own feet made only sounds for miles. Eric felt that something was out there, described the fear that gripped him as weird, anything he had ever felt in his experiences hunting. Air was still, and you could have heard a pin drop, is a direct quote from Eric. The two heard absolutely nothing. So they regrouped and they had So Memorial Day comes along, Memorial Day night. Chelsea went to bed and Shelly started making coffee for Eric and herself. Dogs had refused to go into their pens and seemed quite agitated that time.
Protect the bombs.
And Eric noted that it was a still quiet night. So having been at the property for nearly a year now, he knew what to expect to hear, and yet this night was eerily silent. Shelly thought it was odd too, and shone her flashlight into the field, expecting to at least see a horse or a cow out there. Didn't see anything. She put the light down. Suddenly, Eric feels a strange feeling of fear and danger, and he wants to be protected, so he rushes Shelly back into the house. He just felt like he had to. He had no reason why. He just felt like he had to. But Shelly had no reason, so as he's trying to rush her into the door, she's fighting back, and then they hear a rustling. So they hear like a rustling sound. So she shines the light into the field, and she sees 3 sets of eyes staring at her from the field. It's misty, so it's like there's kind of low fog over the field. So it's like high, but so they see 3 sets of eyes reflecting the light, and she's like shining them around, kind of like trying to get more detail, but she can't see anything. It's foggy. And then two more of these creatures came out of the woods and stood next to them. And they were slowly crawling towards them. So this terrifies them. So there's 5 of these creatures. And the couple says that they're on the porch. These creatures are 20 feet away from them. And she was catching them in the beam of light. And these creatures are still crawling closer. And so Shelly, the wife, she describes them as being around 7 feet tall, hunchbacked, and their ears are placed on the side of their head, stretching roughly 3 inches above their scalp. They were covered in fur that varied from light brown to very, very dark. The fur was smooth to their bodies, but appeared wild and unkempt around their heads. The bridges of their nose measures are roughly 7 inches by Shelley's estimation. But what really stood out to her were the creature's unusual legs. The thigh reminded me of a kangaroo, and the foot had a very long arch, and the heel like a human. The witnesses never used the word werewolf. They just heard the like. Hold on. So they never used the word werewolf, but these are wolf-like creatures. But they've never seen creatures like these.
I'm back.
So welcome.
Sorry.
Back. So the creatures got up and began to circle around the couple and circling around the house, kind of. And so they're on the porch and and these creatures are staring at them. And she says that she sees, and they're back in the house now. She sees their long claws protruding from toes that resemble canine paws and glistening with dew as they walked. As the creatures moved, they stayed together in a group, not aware of the danger she and Eric had entered the house and locked the door. Quoting Eric, I had never seen anything that looked like this, but it was huge and dangerous looking. Shelley found the encounters with the creature surreal and reports that Eric felt helpless without his guns. Eric felt a need to protect his family, but his guns were locked away in the shed. So when Shelley went upstairs to check on her daughter, Eric went outside without her knowledge. And since he hurt his back, he hobbled to his truck and thinking that he can just get in the truck, go to the shed, get out quickly, get in the shed, grab the guns, and get back to the house. So he goes up to the car, and saw that the creatures were 25 to 30 feet away from the pond, and decided that there was enough space for him to get to the car. However, as he tried to get into the car, something set off the motion detecting lights, and he realized just how vulnerable he was when he saw one of the creatures standing dangerously close. And this is a direct quote. All of a sudden, there was one right there. I looked at him, and he looked at me. I thought for sure he was going to come after me. So then, curiously, the creature seemed unable to enter into the beam cast by the security light. It attempted to reach into the light, seemed to be held back by something that bolted it. Reassessing the danger, Eric fled back. Shelley, meanwhile, was closing all the windows and doors in the house when she needed to protect her family and ensure that they could see what was going on outside. So secured the house, found the dogs who were in the corner of their room, like crying and cowering. So she checked on her daughter and woke her up, and was like, and the daughter says that her mom was very anxious and told me wanted to show me something out of the window. So from her daughter's window, Shelley could see all 5 of the creatures waiting outside in a crouched position. Chelsea was half asleep, however, and disregarded the bizarre sight outside. I'm not sure it really registered properly what she was looking at, explained to her mother. Chelsea went straight back to bed. One of the creatures stood up and looked directly at Shelley, who was in shock. When Eric got back to the house, Shelley got mad at him. So then she felt scared and vulnerable, knowing that she and the daughter were left in the house. And they decided to call the cops and let someone else drive in. However, police didn't take the call seriously and told them to lock the doors and close all them. So they thought the cops thought they were mistaking these creatures for other animals. But the couple and the kid said that they felt like they were hostages. So describing the situation, a nightmare that didn't end. It's a direct quote. Eric frustrated to be so helpless. Remembering the creature's reaction to light, however, he got another burst of bravado and decided to arm himself. He was going to try to get a gun from the farm. He didn't want Shelley to know and didn't reveal that he went out a second time until he was revealed by the paranormal witness. So this was also on an episode of Paranormal Witness, which is a TV show. So Eric went into the motion detective range and the light turned on and revealed the eyeshine of the creatures that surrounded the property. Direct quote, half of them were going off to my left, he claimed, half of them were going off to my right. They looked like they were going to pounce. A hunter himself, he recognized the predator's behavior. Creatures were preparing to take down the prey. He abandoned his plans and he recognized that he was in danger of the light turning on if he moved, which freaked him out. So he felt that this light was the only thing that kept him safe. So he ran back to the house, and they got to the house, and Shelley heard the creatures coming. She was sure they would easily smash their way through the simple wooden door. And Eric was noticeably terrified. With no further options, the family had no choice but to wait it out in the house. They didn't sleep very well that night. They woke up the daughter, made sure she was alert, and the family armed themselves with whatever they could find. Gathered in the master bedroom and waited for daybreak. For a while, it was quiet. Heard something move outside, and the only thing between them was a window. And they heard rustling, and Shelley says that when they were running, you could feel it. They were so big and heavy, you could actually feel the rumble of the ground. Even on the porch, you could feel it on your feet. That's a direct quote. Even more disturbing, Shelley reported the creatures could be heard making demonic noises, almost like a growl, but a communication. It's not a direct quote. In the bedroom, being on the corner of the house, the creatures would be heard hanging out near the building, all around the pond. As the sun rose, the creatures seemed to vanish, never to be seen again by the Martin. They called the son over to the house, and the two attempted to collect evidence following their footprints and tracks, and the grass around the pond. A member of the family had attempted to take a photograph of the creatures. Unfortunately, the photograph failed, and Shelley received a new phone. Photographs of the grass with the footprints saved the lot. Oh, so they lost all the photos at the end. So they moved out of the house, didn't ever go back. They had no idea what happened. They were possibly going to die by this creature. Now, please, ideas and thoughts. Let's start with Colin.
I'm just thinking that it's kind of suspicious that the only time they find something that's like, oh hey, look at this, we have actual evidence, and then the only evidence they have kind of craps out.
Yeah. It is suspicious, but we don't know. We may never know what truly happened.
Could have been just a horrible coincidence.
Aiden, you seem like you have something you want to say?
I mean, same as Colin, but besides that, you said there was 5, right? There's 5.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much thoughts on that. Yeah.
And then Demetrio.
Yeah, no. It's just crazy, man. Like, the fear.
It's a very-
must be going for them.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. The fear.
No, think about it. Like, just seeing, like, just, like, those eyes, because, like, it could literally be anything. Like, imagine if you were in that place, that setting, in the middle of nowhere, basically. Just seeing those things. That would terrify me, man. Like, I don't know, man. If I ever saw that, I would just, like, just go in a closet and pray.
Or
Yeah.
nah. Oh nah.
And the fact that the witnesses say that they were like 7 feet tall, like,
Oh, no, dude.
Like I mean,
Oh,
if it was just like
that's
maybe a pack of I mean, I don't know where was this
Wolves
again?
aren't that big.
I know,
Those
but like
werewolves
if
about to go to
Wolves are
the
huge. What
NBA.
do you mean?
I know
True.
they're
Oh,
Like, oh yeah, wolves
wolves
are
are
huge,
big by
but they're not
themselves.
7 feet
Yeah,
tall.
Yeah,
you know, it'd
7
be
feet
really
tall.
weird. It kind of fits the description, but not really. A moose. Moose are really tall, and
They're
it
huge.
fit, it
Yeah,
fit
But
moose
like
they
are
the.
didn't.
huge.
Okay,
But are they 7 foot tall?
And they, I don't know,
They're way
they
up.
here's the
wouldn't.
thing. I'm
Taller
gonna
than that.
no.
No, they
Okay,
wouldn't be
Aiden.
in packs though, and they wouldn't have. They wouldn't be just circling your house like
Yeah.
huh.
Yeah,
But
Also
it kind of fits the
bipedal.
description of a
Moose
moose.
are bipedal.
and also uh, I actually have a sketch from Shelley. Shelley drew the pictures, or
That,
drew a picture of what she thought the creatures looked like.
mm-hmm.
So I will be putting that in the Discord, and
I can put that in the thing.
oh yes, definitely. But
Mm.
I want y'all to look at it and tell me what you think,
Alright, hold on.
because this is actually kind of different than what I'm used to seeing.
Oh,
Mm,
huh.
I
Oh
can't.
yeah,
I
it's very
can't.
bad drawing, but still.
I can't open
She's
Discord
not the best
right
artist.
now.
Look at those
My
feet.
my
Look at those.
headset's bugging out. All I can hear
Wait a
is.
minute.
Look at those toes.
Look at the feet. No, look at the feet, like the back part of it. What is that?
Look
Okay,
at,
guys,
That's the heel.
it's just a really big pinky toe.
I'm gonna stop recording for a little bit so I can see this image.
Okay, so please give your ideas and thoughts about the image. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Demetrio,
Doesn't
your
really
thoughts
make
on it?
sense.
Yeah. What are you guys'
Oh,
thoughts
yeah.
on the image?
Oh yeah. Oh, on the image itself. Oh,
Or
either like
yeah,
it, the fact that it's 7 feet tall makes me doubt it's a person now, or is it just like putting on
people
like
aren't
some?
7 feet tall though.
Yeah.
Some people.
Some
No,
people.
no.
Some
That's
people
why.
are.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's what
because
I'm
there's
saying.
gonna be 5
Hear me.
NBA
No,
players out in the
no.
middle of the woods
Stop.
dressed as wolves.
No, hear me out. That's why I said I
Maybe.
doubt that's a person, because that's
Oh,
7 foot
okay.
tall. Yeah.
Also, I'm seeing something kind of says. It says, at one point it says 2-inch claws. Claw 2 inches.
How do they get that
Oh.
much detail?
How-
It's
These
yeah,
pitch
how do you-
these
how
are
do you
black.
know it's 2
estimations,
inches?
and these are like what they're assuming from what
Yeah.
they saw.
Yeah.
All right.
So Shelley's making these
Okay.
assumptions, and she's trying to give as much information as she can with what she saw.
Long legs.
But
She
yeah,
even
no.
wrote, "Can't
Either
really
that.
tell what hands went upright." Or
You want to see what that
can't
reminds me of
really
also? Is
hands
what
went.
makes me think it is?
Hmm.
Yeah.
It makes me think
Can't
like some kind
recall
of
hands.
disformed wolf, like some disformed wolf that is like become bipedal, you know, like by some like muted,
Yeah,
it mutated that way.
And wait,
that's a good
so
idea.
Dimitro, in the past, since you were, you were looking into that stuff, in the past, were
Yeah.
werewolves known to be in packs, or were they more of like solo? I don't know if you get what I
I
mean.
didn't look too much into that, but what I do know is that they were more cursed, I guess, kind of solo-ish, by the
So
ones
it
I've
was
seen.
a
But there could
person
be,
who.
but there
So
could
it
be
was
packs.
one
There could
person
be
with a
packs.
curse.
Yeah, most likely, but there could be packs. Who knows? In like different areas, because this is all like, because in Rome there could have been like a single person cursed, but like in Japan there could have been like packs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like the idea of werewolf where people turn
Yeah.
into wolves. So I'm saying that these creatures that have always been this, never were human, or some sort of mutant or
Yeah, that's right.
some crazy evolutionary branch off, if they are real.
Yeah. Where do you guys
Which-
think it would they? Where do you guys think they'd be like if they were present in this world? Where do you think like what region of the world do you think
Canada.
they'd be most common?
Okay, so from my research, I can tell that so they're all over the world. People are saying, but most commonly, people are saying Eastern America, so like Appalachian Mountain range. So all the way from like down in Georgia and Alabama and Florida, all the way up to Maine. That entire area from south to northeastern U.S. is what seems to be the most common sightings where these creatures are.
Yeah.
They're like one of the biggest cryptid in Michigan is the Michigan Dogman in the Beast of Bay Road or Bray Road, where
Hey Justin.
yes,
So Sam wants to join.
I tell him not. I mean, here I'm gonna cut this part out so you guys can talk. Whatever.
Yeah, he's asking if
Okay.
he should join or
I
not.
don't think I don't think it'd be appropriate since we already introduced all of ourselves and stuff.
Yeah.
Just tell him we were gonna have a podcast sometime next week or the week after that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel like doing it once.
He wants to like play
easier.
video games.
Yeah, no.
I could just dip and go.
Is the mission
Real
like
quick.
Dogman,
Dylan,
Mission Man,
Dylan, just
Stalk?
stay for a little bit more because we're almost done. Like it's
Yeah.
it's
By
towards
the way,
end.
Or we
did a
could be finishing up.
I did a
10
quick
minutes.
by
fact
the way-
check on like the Dogman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We have around like 30 to 35 minutes of recording, by the way.
Okay.
Dang. Okay. I'll just tell him I'll be back. I'll like give you 10 minutes. Meet with him.
Yeah. By the way, I did a quick fact check on like the Epic of Gilgamesh. It's true. It's that long ago. It's ancient. It's ancient poetry. In fact.
Are we recording again?
Kids
Yeah,
might-
we've been recording.
Oh, okay.
We can get this part out.
Okay, so. Oh, yeah, we are gonna record this part. Okay. But, yeah. So, the Beast of Bray Road, so that's a common thing that people are talking about in Michigan. We were starting like 19 something, and they were talking about how there was somebody hit a wolfman's creature, and they have pictures of it, of what this creature is on the side of the road, and people have no idea what it is, but there's these images of this dead creature on the side of the road.
What's it called?
Beast of Bray Road. They've made they've even made movies.
I'm not seeing anything. There
Yeah,
may be
no,
anything
I swear,
legit.
I one point saw a picture where like these people found like a body on the side of the road, and people, it looked like they were saying it looked like a wolf. It kind of looked like a wolf, but it was massive. Well, I can't find images, which sucks, but
Yeah.
Beast of Bray Road, people say that there's this road, and if you drive down it, at one point there's a chance you'll see this creature. It's like a wolf man or dog man. I actually have a history thing on these creatures. This is going to take place in Louisiana, where voodoo magic, this creature, they call it the Rougarou. And Rougarou is basically the Louisiana version of a werewolf, but kind of different. So it's very interesting what these creatures do. So actually, the legends of the Rougarou start back in medieval France, and they were called loup-garou, which meant werewolf in French. And so back to the 16th century, they blamed various crimes on loup or loup-garous. Then so people, like, every time like a person's house was raided, they found a body, loup-garou.
That couldn't have worked all the time. That couldn't
So
have
they
worked.
I know, but this is medieval
they
times.
use- Yeah, they use that as a scapegoat.
So as France,
Red. It was
so as people moved, so as the French moved to Louisiana, the legends followed them, and supposedly the loup-garou also immigrated with them because these are werewolf creatures. So they did change and match the times, but it now became from loup-garou to rougarou. And people call it
Loup-garou is a better name.
And supposedly Cajun legend says that the beast hunts down Catholics who don't follow the rules of Lent. And so, which also happened in France. So basically, in Catholicism, the rules of Lent, or like the rules you're supposed to follow, if you didn't follow the rules of Lent, the Rougarou will hunt you down, kill you. So it kind of sounds like the boogeyman, right? This is like trying to instill
Yeah.
like a fear into you to make sure you follow the rules, kind of. Like, oh yeah, don't do that, or the Rougarou's gonna get you.
You do the dishes,
I went to
or else the
Catholic school.
boogeyman's gonna get you.
I went to Catholic school, man. They never told me this.
But in
You know, Bubba Yoda.
more in other ways of the Cajun legend, stories tell that it's Rougarou is under a 101-day curse. And unless the affected person can transfer the curse to another human being, they stay a Rougarou for their entire life.
Wait a minute.
So they have 101 days to transport the curse to someone.
Yeah, no. But then, with so basically, if you stay a Rougarou forever, does that mean you can still pass it on?
No, you only have 101 days from when you get the curse to
How do
100
you-
days later. That's
like,
And to transfer the
Then-
curse, you have to like kill
Yeah.
someone. Right?
Should you
You
like
have to
sneeze on or
bite.
something?
You transport blood, so like you scratch them, you bite them,
Basically, vampire.
kind of. So vampire,
Not
you
really,
bite.
more like-
So kind of like a zombie vampire. Like you bite them, they get it, but it transports the curse, so you're blessed and you're saved. And the curse usually comes from a local witch or sometimes a voodoo priestess. And it is said that you can protect yourself against the Rougarou by laying 13 small objects by your door. So apparently when a person changes into a Rougarou, they forget how to count past 12. So when you're a Rougarou, you can't pass. So you turn into the Rougarou, you can't count past 12. So you can put 13 pennies by every door, and the Rougarou can't get in here.
But how does that? What? How does the pennies?
It can't. The thing. Okay, you 13 objects.
Counted, so I can't pass
It
it.
can't count past 12. If you put 13, it's like, hold on, what's this number? And it freaks out and leaves.
Okay.
If I
kinda-
If I didn't
got the
know
mind of a
what
toddler.
like the number was after 12, I'd still go to the door. I'd be like, oh.
Yeah.
Mind of a toddler.
oh my.
So,
no.
Big numbers.
so later the legend is like, the Rougarou will see the 13 objects, try to count them, and will be unable to count them all. And this will perplex it and keep it counting until the sun comes up and it must flee.
Does it
Oh,
just
so it can
run
only
out of
go out
embarrassment?
at night? So it can only like go out at night? Is that how it works?
Oh yeah, so like, it turns into a Rougarou.
Oh.
Yeah, then, yeah. So, despite the fact that it was already a legend, there are still claimed sightings of the Rougarou to this day. And although it has died off a bit, it's still somewhat relevant.
Yeah.
So, also in Louisiana, it's like a big part of the culture. So, they have the annual Rougarou Festival. And then they have a Rougarou exhibit in Audubon Zoo. It includes a statue of the creature in its swampy glory. And yeah, very interesting story. I actually saw this. Excuse you.
Like, just like half.
I saw a supposedly real documentary on like Discovery or History a while ago, where these group of people were trying to hunt down the Rougarou and capture them. It's probably really fake, but
Yeah.
based off of true stories, but ended up like one guy ended up getting killed or something like that.
Alright.
But so Rougarou is a type of lycanthrope in French legends which spreads across the oceans to Louisiana. Walk upright like a man with the appearance of a wolf. It hunts and it lives in the swamp. While the Rougarou is dangerous and has been known to scare or attack people, Rougarou goes around scaring the bad kids who misbehave. The werewolf will scare the children into good behavior. They also scare other people into following and not break your rules. Another example of this is Rougarou making sure that Catholics follow rules.
Okay, I can't tell whether this is like like a story out of a fairy tale book, or this is
No.
like legitimate?
This is legitimate.
Because this is what you're saying. I feel like would be fit perfect in like a bedtime fairy tale storybook, but like at the same time.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where this is like the legends and myths of like French history.
It's like a bedtime story to make sure your kid doesn't sleep.
Yeah, that's the most logical explanation of the Rougarou is that it's like, oh yeah, this is how you like make sure your kids behave, and if you're Catholic, this is how you make sure that you're
So
stay classic.
it's basically similar to if you're naughty, you don't get you get coal from Christmas. That's kind of
It's like Krampus, but of all time.
Kinda,
But
yeah.
The entire time you're alive instead of just one bad mistake. It's
Yeah.
just Christmas.
all right.
And then, any opinion? Oh yeah, you kind of already been saying your opinions about the Rougarou.
And
Yeah.
do you think it's like? No, never mind. I thought I
That
should
you
really-
would.
No, ask it. Throw up all questions as long as they're appropriate. Stay true to the
No, like you.
idea.
You guys gotta explain it to me. So,
No.
are there any? Do you think there's any murderers who are werewolves? And yeah, that's the question.
Just a beaver.
He cut out for me.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I
Why would
mean,
you think there are any
hypothetically,
Werewolves are
possibly.
Because
Highly improbable, but not impossible.
Yeah. Because I read this kind of like story about this German farmer back in I think 15,000, who apparently was a werewolf, and he really like he literally killed like tons of people, and like they literally put him on trial for this. And I think if he wasn't a werewolf, he was like put him on trial because they just didn't like him.
You're a werewolf.
He's had,
No, I'm not.
he's had a little bit too much hair on his legs. So not being a werewolf.
He wasn't a werewolf. He was Bigfoot.
Oh, you see that hair? Nah, no way.
Hairy
Okay, so this has been the podcast. We discussed the history and the very beginnings of the Dogman werewolf thing. We discussed sightings and a very important, a very big and very strange and interesting story known as the Palmyra Wolf story. There's an episode of Paranormal Witness on it called Wolfpack, season 3, episode 9. Then we also discussed the Rougarou and what we personal opinions on what this creature is. So please listen through the entire thing. If you're here, comment and like if you're on YouTube.
And go check out
Listen
our
to it.
and go check
Check
out
out the
our
other-
Instagram and social media.
Check out the Instagram. It's @theory_podcast. No caps. It's the only Instagram page with that name, so you'll very easily find it.
And we love
Not even
feedback.
capping.
We love feedback. So if you have anything to say,
Yeah,
make sure to say
feedback
it.
helps. You
Please
can
don't-
DM the Instagram account. You can leave a comment on a post. You can
Comment on
depends
the
on
story.
what you're on that you can comment on. You can comment on the YouTube video. YouTube video is gonna take longer to get out.
Alright, well, this wraps up what episode? Episode 5?
Yes, this is episode 5, and thank you for listening. And roll the.